Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This time we will going to learn about zeolite process. So let's start. What is zeolite process and where it is used? Zeolite is a type of external water treatment method. It is usually used in boilers treatment. By using this process, the boiler feed water is treated to remove the hardness present in it. Now let us learn more about the zeolite. So what are zeolite? Zeolites are naturally occurring hydrated sodium aluminosilicate minerals. Chemically, zeolites are Na2O into Al2O3 into XSiO2 into YH2O. Here, the number of SiO2 and number of water molecule can vary. So here X represents the number from 2 to 10, whereas Y represents the number from 2 to 6. Zeolite is capable of exchanging its hardness cause its ions, that is sodium ion, with hardness causing magnesium and calcium ion in water. So zeolite has a capacity to exchange its sodium reversibly with the hardness producing ions in water. Zeolites are also known as permutates. In Greek, it means boiling stone. Hence, this process is also known as permutate and boiling stone. Zeolites are of two types, natural and synthetic. If we talk about natural zeolite, then natural zeolites are non porous. They are amorphous in nature and are durable. For example, natrolite. The chemical formula of natrolite is Na2O into Al2O3 into 4SiO2 into 2H2O. So here you can see X is fixed to 4 and Y is fixed to 2. If we talk about synthetic zeolites, then synthetic zeolites are formed by heating together alumina, silica, and calcium carbonate. Synthetic zeolites are porous in nature and they possess a gel structure. Let us now look about the structure of zeolite. So this is the structure of zeolite. A zeolite crystal can be considered to result from the linking of several SiO4 tetrahedrons. So here you can see that several tetrahedron are linked together to form a zeolite crystal and number of crystals are joined together to form a polymer sheet. So here in the zeolite crystal, SiO4 are linked together by oxygen atom. So in each tetrahedron, or we can say each oxygen of a tetrahedron is being shared with an adjacent one. However, some of the SiO4 ions may be isomorphically replaced by aluminium ions in nature. So we know that in SiO4 the oxidation state is plus 4. So if SiO4s are replaced by Al plus 3, then here plus 1 charge deficiency is generated. So in order to balance this plus 1 charge deficiency, zeolite basically incorporates one sodium or one potassium ion in between. So here between the cavities of zeolite, sodium ions or potassium ions are incorporated. And these ions are basically attached through inter-ionic forces of attraction. Hence, these ions are easily replaced or exchanged whenever the hard water is passed through them. So this is how the zeolite behave like a filter. Now let us move on to the process, how the process takes place. So here in this slide you can see this is the structure of zeolite. So this is a zeolite softener. So for softening the water by zeolite process, you can see hard water is percolated from the top at a specific rate through a bed of zeolite. So a bed of zeolite is basically housed in this cylindrical unit. Zeolite holds, as we know that they hold sodium ions and these ions are loosely attached and can be simply represented by Na2Ze. Here Na2 is the replaceable or exchangeable cations, whereas Ze represents the insoluble radical framework. The hardness causing ions like calcium or magnesium etc. are retained by the zeolite as calcium zeolite and magnesium zeolite. Whereas while the outgoing water contains sodium salts, as you can see in this chemical equation. In this chemical equation, sodium zeolite, that is zeolite, is treated with calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate. So what happens during the reaction? This sodium is replaced by calcium. As a result, Sodium zeolite is converted into calcium zeolite, whereas in a byproduct, sodium bicarbonate is produced. Similarly, when it is treated with magnesium bicarbonate, magnesium zeolite is retained, whereas the filtrate contains sodium bicarbonate. So, this is how zeolite helps in removal of calcium and magnesium ions. But what happens? After some time, the zeolite is completely converted into calcium and magnesium zeolite. And after this, the zeolite bed becomes exhausted and eventually the bed ceases to soften the water. Such condition is known as exhaust condition. So during this condition, at this stage, the supply of hard water is stopped and the exhausted zeolite is reclaimed by treating the bed with the concentrated sodium chloride. Commonly, it is known as a brine solution. So, what happens when a zeolite is treated with concentrated NaCl solution? This reaction takes place. As you can see, here calcium zeolite is converted into calcium chloride, whereas sodium zeolite is regenerated. The salts which are produced during the process, like calcium chloride, they are basically washed into the drain. So the washing contain calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, and they are led to the drain. And the regenerated zeolite bed thus obtained is used again for the softening purpose. We can also use NaNO3 or KCl or KNO3 etc. instead of NaCl. But why NaCl is mostly used? This is because of its low cost and the products of regeneration process, that is calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, they are highly soluble and can be easily rinsed out from the zeolite bed. So here now you can easily see that why this process, why this NaCl is attached here. So this is attached for regeneration process. So overall, when we do the regeneration process, the supply of raw water is stopped. So this is all about the zeolite process. Let us now talk about the advantages of this process. Almost complete removal of hardness of 10 ppm, that is residual hardness of 10 ppm is produced. So this process is better than the lime soda process where the residual hardness of 20 to 30 ppm is obtained. Equipment is compact and required less space. If we compare this zeolite with the lime soda, then this equipment is compact. It is quite clean and rapid process. It requires less time for softening because no other reagents are added into the water. We do not give time. We basically do not provide time for the reaction mixtures since no other chemical reactions are added to the softener. No sludge formation takes place since no precipitate is formed. So this can work under pressure also. So this process is better than the lime soda process. But we have some disadvantages also. More sodium salt concentration in softened water. What do we get after the filtration? We get basically the salts of sodium. So this is how the basic pH is developed into the filtrate. Turbidity containing water cannot be used. Why? This is because zeolite has a porous nature. So if the turbid water if we use, then what will happen? This turbid particle will going to block the cavities of the zeolite softener. So this will going to harm the filtering process. Also, process exchange only calcium and magnesium ion, but they cannot exchange carbonates or bicarbonates ion. So this process cannot be used in boilers to remove the negatively charged ions. So this process is efficient only to remove the cations. Also, if we talk about cations, if we talk about heavy metal cations, then if iron and manganese are present in the large quantities, they form their respective zeolite. But these zeolites are difficult to regenerate. So this is again a problem. Now let us look upon the last disadvantage. Water consists of high alkalinity or acidity cannot be used because zeolite tend to decompose. Since zeolite is a polymer, it can be attacked by acids and alkalis. So the water which we need to treat with this method should be neutral. So before feeding the water into the zeolite softener, we need to check the pH of the water. It should be neutral. It should not contain heavy metal ions. It should not contain the turbidity. So by taking so much of precaution, we can easily use the zeolite process. Thank you.